Because I work for Manly United, and I found this during a cleanup last year. It's like, I could use this. Did I have this? Absolutely not.
Okay, so I'll just do normal volume first. Testing, 1, 2. About 15 minutes from going live at Illingdon Sports Centre. NPL Men's New South Wales Round 7 action. Sutherland Sharks versus Central Coast Mariners. Good.
ladies and gentlemen, the Central Coast Mariners and your Sutherland Sharks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We're at Illingdon Sports Centre for NPL Men's New South Wales Round 7 action. It is Sutherland Sharks hosting Central Coast Mariners, two teams with plenty of talent and two teams who will be very, very keen to climb the ladder as we head into the middle part of the season. Eric Subihano here on the scaffolding here in Rockdale. I was glad to get the late call up for this one because it's going to be a very fascinating game for Sutherland. Last time out, they were on this very ground against their local rivals, Rockdale Illingdon. An exciting game in which they had the lead at one point, but they did lose 3-2 in the end to the defending premiers. As for Mount Druitt Town Rangers, they also had the lead on their travels last time out, but eventually it was a 1-1 draw at Popondetta Park against Mount Druitt Town Rangers for the youngsters in yellow and navy. So that should all provide plenty of motivation for both sets of players. If you're perhaps less familiar with these two teams, it is a Sutherland in what appears to be the traditional representative colours for every sporting team from the Sutherland area, with the sky blue outfits, while for the Central Coast Mariners they are in their famous yellow and navy. Let's go through the two lineups. Firstly for Sutherland, in goal, number 1, Daniel Nizic, and number 2, Lachlan McDonald, number 6, Mohammed Ahmed, number 7, Peter Grozos, number 15, Matthew Mordich, number 17, Richard Shueki, number 20, Jacob Tresoglovich, number 21, Jerry Skatadis, number 23, Mason Fernandez, number 26, Jacob Garner, and number 87, Thomas Dobierski. The Mariners starting lineup, in goal for them, number 30, Jack Wachowski, and number 2, Luca Pecora, number 3, Michael Paragali, number 4, Rocco Smith, number 5, Ben Mewitt, number 7, Ayuk Mo, number 8, Lucas Shikluna, number 11, Jai Rose, number 21, Muginga Mporta, number 24, Kai Schumacher, and number 37, Bailey Brantman. So I think I'll go through the two sets of substitutes at the appropriate break and play, but it looks like everyone is ready. I've had a very delicious kabapi roll from the canteen, as well as a very satisfying double espresso, so I'm definitely ready. And anyway, there's the whistle from the referee, Matt Staples. Away we go. Strong header and an early break, possibly for the Mariners. The ball ends up a little bit behind Mo. Brantman takes over for the visitors. Now, Brantman, I think Sutherland effectively double up on him. Well, they're trying to play out from the back, doesn't quite run out. Doesn't quite work out, sorry, for the hosts. Might as well complete that third team. Shout-outs to the rest of the match officials. Assistant nearest to us is Matthew Harris. The assistant on the grandstand side of Illingdon Sports Centre is Cameron Wright. The fourth official is Joel Dunajcik. I actually had a brief chat with the referee, Matt Staples, as he walked into Illingdon Sports Centre. He was very helpful, telling me it was Cameron Wright. For those that don't know, his identical twin brother, Brad, is also a referee, or is also an assistant at this level. And yeah, none of us can tell them apart. So thanks, Matt, for clarifying that. As Sutherland go back to Nizic. Diagonal, that's a nice ball to McDonald. Sutherland entering this one in 11th place on the table with 7 points. Successful, actually, all 7 points earned in the first 3 rounds of the season. They had a great start, did Steve Zorich's side. But after 3 losses in a row, of course, the team that normally calls Seymour Shaw home trying to have a more positive outcome from this afternoon's outing. So I think that's Garner. The ball down the line. It's a nice ball to Shueki on target last week. It's covered by Paragali. And Paragali will go back to Smith. Now the pressure comes. It's Sutherland's turn to do the high pressing. It's worked out. Now, a nice back heel there from Shueki. A couple of step overs here to the edge of the box, and that's Brantman. Well, we know Brantman for his attacking capabilities, and the boys from Medenza Park copped the brunt of that a couple of weeks ago when the Mariners shocked the competition and gave their fans a nice surprise with a 3-0 win away at Medenza Park. Bailey Brantman very central in that one, but that was nice defending from the Mariners number 37, as isolated shouts for a free kick not heeded, but the Mariners have taken over anyway. That's Brantman. First overlapping run from Mewitt. Now Mo. Mo finds space the edge of the box. Brantman digs one out. And I think Garner was the player who got his head in the way of that one. Meanwhile, for the Mariners, it's kind of their first 6 games have gone the opposite, as Peter Grossos does a look-away pass. Love a bit of razzle, but for the Mariners, their first 6 games have gone the opposite of the way Sutherland's first 6 games have gone. Their 3 losses came at the beginning of the season. It was a tough start for them, especially they opened the season with a 5-0 defeat away to Manly United at Cromer Park in the very first game for 2025. But it's been much more positive over the last 3 weekends for the Mariners. That'll please Lucas Villela, as there's Ben Mewett strong in the tackle there and gets the decision as well. But yeah, a win and 2 draws over the last 3 weekends for Central Coast. 5 points, and they are 1 place off the bottom in 15th place. And they were leading late, as I said, last time out at Popondetta Park, but then they copped, shall we say, the full Pedrinho experience as Mount Druitt's Brazilian superstar late in the game came up with a worldie out of very little. A completely unstoppable rocket from the edge of the box, and so the Mariners had to settle for just 1 point from their trip to Edmonton. Of course, as usual, I've been loving the extension of this competition after the recent reorganisation of Football New South Wales men's competitions. Now, this being a 30-round season, and the action, it really kicked off in round 1, and it just kept on going, as here's Importa. Just elects not to cross immediately. Now Brandtman. Mo will keep it alive. Here's Schumacher. Pecora to Rose. And Sutherland have done well to force them backwards, and Daniel Nizic, as lots of keepers like to be, being very vocal and getting his team to push up when the opportunity presents itself. But now, Mariners just taking it a little bit easy for the time being. And indeed, they work it back to Warshawski. But yes, actually, it's a lot cooler than it has been for most of the opening of the season. I'm optimistic that that'll result in even higher quality football than what we've seen so far. 5 minutes played here at Illidan Sports Centre, 0-0 between Sutherland Sharks and Central Coast Mariners. But yes, as Shikluna is with the long range, shall we say, back pass to Warshawski. By the way, I think of the Shikluna clan, wishing all the best as his brother Dylan continues his rehab from that unfortunate ACL injury he suffered in A-League Men's when the Wanderers were away to Adelaide. Now, once again, Warshawski getting involved as Mariners trying to go forwards, and it hasn't really worked out. Here's Grossos. While I'm doing brother shoutouts, as this ball goes into the middle, easy catch for Warshawski. I mean, while I'm thinking of brother shout out to Peter Grossos' older brother Costa of Newcastle Jets. The Newcastle Jets captain, actually, for this A-League men's season. There's Rose. Now that'll be switched left to Mo. And Mo, a little bit of a change of pace, and there's a very strong tackle. That's great fullback play to prevent the cross. Sutherland trying to play out from the back. It's gone well so far. Here's Shoeki, and he didn't like the direct options in front of him, so nothing wrong with going back when you don't like what's in front of you. And Garner with a couple of sideways passes there. And the other centre back, Mohammed Ahmed, for Sutherland. Nizic. And Mariners at least stepping off, or at least standing off the keeper. That's a second pinpoint diagonal that Nizic has played in the opening exchanges. Of course, keepers really need to be good with their feet as well as their hands in modern football. And now it's nice play as they try to release McDonald down the right-hand side. McDonald goes back to Skatadis. Skatadis again on the ball. Again, gets it back off Shoeki. few touches for Skatadis. And then that's I don't know if that counts as a commentator's curse, but anyway, he's giving it away, sorry. And there's a collision off the ball, but Matthew Staples doesn't see anything wrong. Pretty sure that was accidental. Mariners in possession just outside their own box. Oh, that's a lovely fake from Schumacher, and he's racing away. He's putting the foot to the floor, and the through ball's not bad as well for Importa. Importa tries a step over. Ahmed wasn't fooled. That's good defending. Now, the Mariners, let's see. From memory, I did call their round 2 game against RP at Plume Park. Yes, I wasn't unaware of as Importa unfortunately overcooks the return ball from the throw. I didn't think they had any kind of long throw expert, any kind of anyone with Megan Campbell aspirations. If you've seen the Irish international, her long throws, you'll know that makes sense. But Sutherland working back to the keeper. Another very calm pass. Nizic's left foot to McDonald. Skatadis, oh, that's a nice turn. And then, he's got a good left foot as well as a good right foot, so that'll be Stobierski on Sutherland's left-hand side. He does go for the cross, and it is cleared. Oh, this round, this is the latest of the kickoffs in this NPL Men's New South Wales Round 7 for 2025 as Smith cushions it to Pecora. It's good interplay between those two to buy some room. Another touch for Warshawski, the Mariners custodian. But yes, there were 2 games on Friday night. And of course, the real storyline of the opening part of the NPL Men's New South Wales season is what a great job that David Perkovich and the men from the Arctic Circle have done. A win on Friday night, 1-0 away to Manly United at Cromer Park. Always a tough place to go, especially on a Friday night. But Yu Okubo's lone goal in the second half was what earned Spirit their 6th win in the opening 7 rounds. 19 points from a possible 21 to start the season. And actually, I've gotten to know David Perkovich quite well over the years in terms of as being a Football New South Wales media person. Yes, they scored the goal. Yu Okubo having a great season. As this goes back to Warshawski, he plays to Paragali, but as this one will put Mo under a little bit of pressure, but the Mariners still have it. Schumacher, good ball out to Pecora. But yes, going back to that Friday night game at Cromer Park, yes, they got the goal, but the Spirit will also be pleased with the defending. Another clean sheet, and the men from the Arctic Circle really froze out Manly United on Friday night as his gyros and Rose to Brantman. Brantman, the back heel. Rose was quick enough to beat the defenders to the ball. That's quite a few touches for the Mariners in the box, but Sutherland at least preventing the shot. Brantman to Pecora's overlapping run. And it's a decent cross. There's Mo, I think, lunging at the back post, and Porter trying to keep it alive. Another lunge. And Mewett, now Schumacher. And good header. That was a good header. Very needed from Tresoglovic. But Shueki, well, we saw how quick he was when he scored against Rockdale last weekend, but he's not quick enough to make anything of that clearance. Excuse me. Just an interesting thought. Once again, I go back to that Friday night game at Cromer Park. Yu Okubo scoring the winner for Spirit against Manly. He also scored twice last year at Cromer Park when he was with Hills United in a 2-0 win for Hills. So he's got the Cromer Park touch. He's just like Ashley Crofts. As there's a run from Grozos. And then it was Skatadis who couldn't force it through that wall of Mariners players. Skatadis again as he links up with McDonald. I thought, was that a nutmeg pass? Well, this could be interesting, and it's Mo back defending. He did well to track Morich's run. It's going to be a corner, the first corner of the game, going to the hosts. Oh, by the way, for those people wondering, yes, work being done at Seymour Shore. So that's why Sutherland have had to find alternative arrangements for their home games. Looking ahead of the schedule, there is a game at Seymour Shore scheduled for Saturday, the 19th of April, round 11. It would be kind of a derby. It would be, just definitely a derby. It would be Sutherland hosting St. George City. So hopefully Seymour Shaw is all ready to go by then. And I'm also grateful. I've heard it's going to be a new pitch. There's going to be the thing most important to me: new lights, because I'm not getting any younger. My eyes are definitely not getting any better. That's for sure. Grozos looking for an in-swinger from the flag, and at the near post, touch off the Mariners. So corner number 2 coming up. And by the way, that's actually there were actually 2 games at Cromer Park. Oh, sorry, 2 games on Friday night, and at Barton Park. Sorry, my apologies. It was St George FC defeating Wollongong Wolves by 2-1. Loving when there's Friday night football, as Grozos will deliver, and it's going to put the keeper under pressure. Decent punch from Wachowski. Now, can the Mariners break off their set piece? Well, no is the answer. Although Porter has outrun a couple of players, and now this could be interesting. Perhaps only 4 back for Sutherland. There's 5 forward in this Mariners attack, and the cross. That's great positioning from Garner to block the cross. Now Pecora, and he's overplayed that one, and Nizic will pick it up. So Nizic now using his left hand instead of his left foot to distribute. Here's Peter Grozos. Back to McDonald. Might just drip feed you these other results, because there were plenty of action on the Saturday as well. Of course, that's what you'd expect for an NPL Men's New South Wales season. So at Popondetta Park, it was the visitors, St George City, winning by 1-0 over Mount Druitt Rangers. That will be a foul against Gyros, but yeah, it was a stunner from Nathan Roberts, actually a Sutherland junior, Nathan Roberts. Now it's Roberts now at St George City, and his worldie was the difference between the 2 sides of Popondetta Park. So 1-0 to St George City there. And how did I remember Nathan Roberts is a Sutherland junior? Well, without naming names, in the half-length 2020 NPL 2 men's season, there was a commentator. I felt like he said Sutherland junior Nathan Roberts about 500 times. So it was yeah, not naming names, but certainly wasn't allowed to forget that fact. Of course, that was back when I was the NPL 2 New South Wales men's reporter. But Football New South Wales upgraded that gig after the 2020 season. Shout out to Justin Smith, my successor, who's doing a much better job with that league than I ever did. Skatadis getting the shouts from his teammates. Now, the out wide to McDonald. He's got some room. And back to Garner. Now, actually, I've just noticed something very niche. If you're familiar with my commentary, this stuff won't surprise you, but let's see if I'll bring it up. But I'll wait to see how this goes. There's just a great effort there from Shueki. And 2 strong hands from Wachowski, not beaten low to his near post. That niche thing I've noticed, by the way, is someone who's read the Football New South Wales competition regulations. Bailey Brightman's going to need some treatment from the Mariners physio. In fact, he's going to have to be subbed. Oh, this is a big, big blow, I think. But I can see Lucas Villela. He's given instructions to, I think, number 17, Jesse Mantell, one of the subs. So this will be it. This looks like it could be it. That's a big blow for the visitors. And Brandman, who's provided so much value to the Mariners Academy and also the A-League men's setup as well. And he will take no further part. I didn't see what happened, but it is enough to take the talented left footer out of this game at a very early stage. And that is quite unfortunate, and we hope it's nothing too serious. Number 17, Jesse Mantell on for Brantman. Now, actually, you just realized. Well, I should hold that thought. We'll wait for this Peter Grozos corner first. It's good flight as well, and yeah, he did pick out a player at the back post, and it is an off-target header, but I think, who was that? It was possibly Tresoglovic, who'd shaken off the defense, and his header was not able, his header was off-target. Now, I'm just actually looking around. There is, of course, a reporter assigned by Football New South Wales for all NPL Men's New South Wales games. I've just realised I don't know where they are. Maybe they're in the box. I can't, on the far side, I can't see that far. So, as a former rider myself, I do know what's required in the style guide. So, just in case it wasn't clear, there's a Mariners sub. Just in case they happen to be doing it remotely and they're more reliant on my voice than usual. But that Mariners sub, just to clarify, 17th minute, number 17, Jesse Mantell, on for number 37, Bailey Brantman. Now, McDonald goes back to Ghana. Decent ball. Now Grozos can turn onto that left foot, and he goes from range. It's curling, and it's another great save. Great save from Warshawski. He's been called into action again. That's what Sutherland would be looking for at every possible opportunity. Grozos has a great left foot. It was 30 yards out, possibly more, but he still backed himself, and you can see why he backed himself. He scored a stunning goal last week against Rockdale from a similar distance. So much curl and dip on the ball, and it's drawn a fine save from Warshawski. Now going to be Skatadis to take the corner, and yes, that's the KPI met for every men's game I've ever called. The referee blowing the whistle before a set piece is taken, just to let everyone know that they're watching these kind of 6-yard box shenanigans. It's a good ball as well, but safe hands from Warshawski, and a rather simpler task compared to what he did about 30 seconds ago. Just about reaching the 20-minute mark here at Illington Sports Centre. Eric Subihano on the mic for Sutherland versus Central Coast Mariners. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. That's a foul committed against the new player for the Mariners, Jesse Mantell. But it is, so far as we've seen, possibly the moment of the match, what we just saw. Peter Grozos testing Jack Warshawski and forcing him into a full-length diving save. But it's still, if I may use a very awkward boxing analogy, it's that time of the bout where the two opponents are just trading jabs. Good header from Tresoglovic. And now Schumacher crunches in, and and Kai, you hit the wrong part of him there. It's a late challenge. And Matt Staples, I think, it's not quite yellow card body language from today's referee, but yeah, that's a warning. I think you feel like the next challenge like that from Schumacher will be a yellow card. Another Sutherland set piece. Grozos, one of the options. I think Skatadis is the other. That would make sense. They're the two people who have taken corners so far for Sutherland. It's Skatadis to deliver, and he's hit it over everyone, so goal kick. So as the Mariners prepare this goal kick, I've noticed in front of our filming position, next to fourth official Joel Donajcik, there's an unsecured VO pole, which my understanding is, as someone who's read a little bit of the Football New South Wales competition regulations, it's not that's supposed to be tied to the fence or something similar, or weighed down. So I hope no stray ball hits that, because those things are very expensive, those poles and the VO cameras. As back with Warshawski again. Was actually at a League One men's game with Justin Smith, the League One men's reporter. As that's worked back to Smith and then across to Pecora. Actually, there were two unsecured VO poles in that game. I mean, and the ball nearly hit both of them at the same time, but thankfully it didn't. Rose to Importa, then back to Shikluna. And Shikluna, Maradona spin, and then he crosses. I love it when the Maltese show off their skills as Mantell trying to keep it alive, and then Well, the yellow card is going to be out this time, and it's going to be against the early Mariners substitute, Jesse Mantell, into the notebook for going in very late on Mason Fernandez, who does appear to be okay, so that's the most important thing. And in case the Football New South Wales reporter is doing this remotely, yellow card for Jesse Mantell, Mariners number 17 in the 23rd minute. If you've ever read one of our match reports, and I certainly hope you've had, you'll understand why I'm being so specific. Skatadis, oh, that's sensational from Jerry Skatadis to beat the press. Now Ahmed to Trosoglovic. And well, that was Shakluna going in late. Sutherland, well, they've just seen one yellow card. Don't think there's going to be a second one, but Mason Fernandez in the wars. He's copped 2 heavy hits in the space of about 90 seconds. But Lucas Shakluna is not going to go into Matt Staples' notebook. Oh, yes, the reporter. Ah, yes, I've just figured out who the reporter is. They are doing it remotely, as it's the way NPL Men's New South Wales is covered. When in doubt, get Tim Gibson to do a match report remotely. Thank you for your continued service, Tim. Oh, that's a great change of pace from Ahmed. Sutherland, I think there's a midfield that's dropped between the two centre-backs, Garner and Ahmed, trying to draw someone out from the Mariners and create more space, but Mariners stay firm, and Porter stops any kind of centre-back run from Garner. Now, long throw. There's the long throw I've been looking for from McDonald, and the keeper's out quickly. Well, I cannot remember the last time, as Rocco Smith is just helping his opponent up. Good sporting behaviour there. I can't remember the last time I saw the keeper need to show good command of the penalty area for a long throw. It's like, that's something to watch from Sutherland number 2, Lachlan McDonald, because if they win a throw in closer to the goal, he surely is going to hurl that straight towards the penalty spot. In fact, to be honest, McDonald going backwards this time, which was probably the smarter option, but disappoints me personally. I wanted to see him hurl it into the middle. Anyway, Ahmed goes back to Nizic. Skatadis, and Garner just decides the pressure was too much, goes for the safer option, but Smith controlled it well. It's Paragali back to Wachowski. Fernandez. Good sees. No lasting effects from those 2 heavy fouls. Once again, it's back with the keeper. Nizic pings one. And it's Pecora positioned well for the Mariners. Schumacher. Was that Schumacher? Whoever it was. Nice ball to Rose, who switched flanks. Now Mewett. Rose cuts inside. That'll be Shakluna. Shakluna helps it on to Pecora. Mantell trying to get rid of the defender. He's done well there. That's a great ball. Not much room to work with. Schumacher keeps it alive. But instead it's Shakluna, and the Mariners will start again with Paragali. No, oh, it's good quick feet from Pecora. Now he's got a bit of room and options. Wide to Mantell. A low cross. Here's Rose. And Rose perhaps could have had a go first time. Instead, the opportunity's gone. With the Mariners trying to turn the screw. As that's Fernandez with good defending. Now Grozos and McDonald's already on the move. Good crossing position here. So that's what he does. Grozos tries to flick it on. It's off Smith's heel and into the grateful arms of Jack Wachowski. Now, so gradually go through the rounds results. So plenty of fascinating action, of course. I might hold that thought as Wachowski, that didn't go how he wanted. Quick turn from Shoiki, and he shoots, but sting taken out of it by Paragali. And now also a result yesterday, and a big one for another A-League academy, as it was Sydney FC defeating Sydney Olympic by 2-1. I believe that was at Belmore Sports Grounds. Well, firstly, Olympics goal from Dylan Ruiz-Diaz, but this will come as a shock to you. Sydney FC helped out by goals from a couple of Manly Warringah FA juniors. Who could have seen this coming? But the goals for Sydney FC yesterday coming from Mosman Jr. Will Kennedy and Coco Jr. Joe Lacey. Now Ahmed. And he's in the center circle now. Fernandez. He goes wide to McDonald. McDonald slowed up by Rose. And Moric will play it back to Garner. Well, if you've got a reasonable grasp of Sydney geography and you're a bit confused as to why Mosman, a suburb in the lower North Shore, has a club in the Northern Beaches Football Association, well, hold that thought. It's McDonald, and he cuts it back. There's a shot, and the second effort blocked as well, so that's a double save from Wachowski. Mariners win the free kick inside their own box. And Wachowski, I think he was unsighted, possibly for both of them, but it's more great goalkeeping to keep Sutherland out. Another adventurous run from McDonald. A tight angle, so he decided not to go for goal himself. He cut it back. 2 good saves from the man wearing purple today. But yes, to go back to my Sydney FC Academy tangent earlier, if you're wondering why Mosman is not in the Northern Beaches but has a club in the Northern Beaches Football Association, Manly Warringah FA, well, I might explain that later if I've got time. It's a bit complicated. Mantell. Now Mo delivering left-footed. Rose chasing it. And Rose not fouled by Peter Grozos. McDonald, I think that didn't have quite the curl he wanted. And again, good command of the penalty area from Wachowski. Schumacher. And it's an unfortunate one for Pecora. We've all been there. Also, other Saturday action. So I look at my notes. Yes, for once I did create notes for commentary. Doesn't happen too often. But, it's Sutherland interception and the long-range shot coming in, but that's going to be straight at Wachowski. Yeah, also Saturday action, it was RPL Leichhardt defeating the Wanderers Academy by 6-1. And most notably, did look like Presley Ortiz had the Wanderers defense all shook up. He scored a double. And also a bit of a, what we like to call, you didn't want him action, as Alex Denmead, the former Wanderers Academy player, scored against the Wanderers Academy. Schumacher playing it forward to Importa. Fake and then a turn, and then that foul is as subtle as a lot of my jokes. Mohamed Ahmed, first Sutherland play into the notebook in the 32nd minute. I mean, I jest, but as I was never any great central defender, but do understand that sometimes you have to do that and take the yellow card, because the counter-attack is less palatable. Trying to defend the counter-attack with a central defender caught up the field, less palatable for any team. So, I think, we call that taken one for the team. As McDonald, And now there's a new passing triangle. Try and beat this Mariners press. Fernandez doesn't get out of it, so Mariners ball with Scicluna. Now Smith, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And Pecora. Doesn't beat the two defenders, but there's great work again from Scicluna. As Rose once again, he stopped, but Rose wins it back and shoots from range. It's going to be Nizic save, and the rebound doesn't go far enough away from him for anyone else to take advantage. So also, might as well complete my references to other games. Well, no, Mariners attack coming up first with Mole. Pressured by Garner. Scicluna. Now, Mariners decide they couldn't very quickly, so a bit more patience is the order of the day. Centre back run coming up from Rocco Smith. Oh, that's it. Right into the box he goes. Here's Smith. And I'm not sure if that was a shot or kind of a low cross, but it deflects straight into Daniel Nizic. But good play, good enterprising play from Rocco Smith. A defender wearing the number 4 jersey, going on marauding runs. Love to see that. Just like watching Tory Tumith. But Rocco Smith, the right decision. If you talk about that run he just had, it wasn't under any direct pressure. Everyone else was marked, so why not go yourself? Now another run, speaking of marauding defenders, here's McDonald, central position. That's unfortunate. Right idea with the pass, just a little bit behind Peter Grozos. Scicluna, center circle, 3 options in front of him. And yes, he'll find Rose. By the way, I just saw Lucas Scicluna is indeed wearing the captain's armband. Oh, the nutmeg from Rose on Fernandez. Now, he finds a player in space. Mo. And still Mo. That's a clean tackle. It had to be clean. Might have been a penalty if it wasn't clean, but excellent defending all around. Paragali steps in and this was just throw-in claimed momentarily by both teams. I was a little bit confused, but ends up being Sutherland ball. Long throw from McDonald. That's a very long throw. I mean, not Megan Campbell distance, but still quite long. If you don't know who I'm referring to, Google Megan Campbell long throw, because the Irish women's international player, it's spectacular. I wish she wasn't injured for the Women's World Cup in 2023. Then I might have been able to see it in person. Oh well. Schumacher. Back to Wachowski. The pressure's coming from Peter Grozos, and he'll press Paragali as well. Did he go in late on Paragali? Yes, he did. And Matt Staples not impressed. The yellow card is already out. And in fact, the physio will be called on, so Paragali does not have to leave the field because the card is about to be shown to Peter Grozos in the 37th minute. No. And yes, I think pressing for the front is important, but just a slight misjudgment there from Sutherland's number 7. So an impromptu drinks break. I mean, we've had plenty of official drinks breaks this time of year across both A-Leagues and NPL. But while Paragali is checked on, it looks like he will be fine to continue. Also, it's a big hit. Actually, they're going to... the Sutherland physio is on the field to take a look at Peter Grozos, but he'll be okay. And yeah, it's good sporting behavior there from Grozos and Paragali. That's what you love to see. And Matt Staples has called last drinks, so these players have got to get back on the field so we can continue this game. Wachowski going long. Who's up highest? McDonald was. Now Garner. Well, that's actually a great touch off the chest from Morich, I think it was. Grozos gets away from two, going backwards, but then finds the open player. Tresoglovic. Now something for Stobieski to chase, but Pecora looks to have got the body position there and never met a defender who didn't love shepherding the ball over the goal line. And that's what Pecora has done for this goal kick. Now, just to complete that, my references to other games from this round, yeah, there was a game kicking off at 3 p.m. today. Marconi Stallions away at Adensa Park, and let's see. Good to see another commentary opportunity for one of my good friends, highly talented young commentator and writer, very valued part of our Football New South Wales team. That is, of course, the clean-cut looking Dominic Creniti. He's also a Formula One fan, as am I, so if you are also a Formula One fan, it's quite a busy time for us, those that are into both NPL and Formula One, as the shot from range is saved. Great save from Wachowski. It's going to be a corner kick, I think. That's Sutherland's 5th of the game. And it was Fernandez, the great technique to keep that shot lower and generate good power, met by an equally good save from Wachowski. But yes, if you follow NPL and Formula One, well, there's the start of our season, and also Formula One starting with 5 races in 6 weekends. Yeah, thanks Liberty Media for that, because I wasn't busy enough. But anyway, here's the corner from Skatades. It's high, and there's the header, and it's in from Tresoglovic, who snuck in past the yellow jerseys and headed Sutherland into the lead. Skatades' corner was on the mark, and Tresoglovic, using his height, textbook downward header. Wachowski had no chance, even in the form he's shown today. And it's a Sutherland goal with halftime approaching. 41st minute, Sutherland leading by a 1-0. He's been playing in defence, but defenders love the chance to get forward whenever they can, especially at set pieces. And Jacob Tresoglovic, very nice time to score his first goal of the season. The Mariners have any kind of response before half-time, but Sutherland looking like they're in the mood. And Grozos, he will shoot, and not as much curl as he would have wanted. Not as much curl as he scored to score that stunning free kick last week against Rockdale. But another warning for the Mariners about the talent Peter Grozos possesses, because that space did open up for him very nicely on his left foot. Short goal kick to Wachowski. And now Mo is up, but the ball spins towards Tresoglovic. Good tackle from Smith. And Smith will switch the point of attack. Here's Mewett. Paragali to Shakluna under a bit of pressure from Shoeki. He's done well. Shakluna again, and Schumacher was eased away from possession. By the way, good to hear that the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor, is watching. Hopefully it's not too long before I hear his dulcet tones on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, and an unfortunate one for with those from the coast, but something I'm interested in, players scoring against their former clubs. Peter's told me that we have just seen a "you didn't want him" moment. Jacob Trosoglovic, formerly of Central Coast Mariners Academy. The run from Modic. And now Stobierski tries to stand it up, but the defenders are in position, as is the goalkeeper. Shakluna can turn towards Importa. Now Mo. It's not Paragalli. Pecora in front of the grandstand. He goes centrally to Smith. Coaches Marcelo Bielsa, you're not going to press high, really high with intensity for the whole game. Kind of Sutherland more picking their moments as that goes up into the grey sky. Hewitt wins the header. Rose tried to lob it over McDonald, but McDonald wasn't having any of that. McDonald going long with the throw-in once again, but all he finds is Mariners. Shakluna towards Mo, and Mo keeps it away from multiple defenders. Now, that's a strong tackle, and Sutherland could break if they're quick enough. And that was Ayuk. Was that Ayuk? Mo actually taking advantage of a bit of hesitation from Sutherland with an excellent sliding tackle. Mo can turn, and nice ball with the outside of the foot to Mantell. Mantell looking for options. Pecora. Shakluna. Now goes back to Smith. Actually, remember to look at the fourth officials board for once. And Joel Dunajic is signalling this. It'll be a minimum of 1 minute time added on. And then McDonald breaking up that attempted switcher play. So if the Mariners want one last chance before half-time, they'll have to be quick. Instead it's Sutherland who's wanting back, and perhaps they'll have one more chance. Grozos a bit more interested in just keeping possession and running out the few seconds that remain. Garner. Now Modic. Back to Garner again. And in fact, that will be that. There's the whistle from Matt Staples. And it's a case of so far, so good for Sutherland, leading by 1-0 as the teams head to the dressing sheds. It was Jacob Trosoglovic late in the first half. His powerful downward header off a very good Jerry Scatardis corner. That's what has given the hosts the lead after 45 minutes. But there'll be plenty of action and plenty more to be said from both teams, I'm sure, before this one is done. Eric Subihano here on the mic from Illidan Sports Centre. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to the second half of our NPL Men's New South Wales coverage from Illingdon Sports Centre. Eric Subihana here at the scaffold here in Rockdale. Joel Dunajcik is preparing the board, so someone is about to make a halftime substitution. If you've just joined us, it is Sutherland leading at their temporary home ground by 1-0. A goal late in the first half off a Jerry Skatada's corner. The goal scored by Jacob Trasoglovic. The board is up. I'd better actually pay attention to this, but whoever it is, it's number 58, Daniel Wong, who comes on right for the start of the second half. He is replacing number 87, Thomas Stobierski. So, a substitution involving 58 and 87, that is giving flashbacks to anyone who's had to call a Football New South Wales Institute game in the last 3 years. Of course, well, actually a bit more longer. But anyway, the second half's underway. I enjoyed calling Institute games. I just wish they gave their players normal numbers, but no, now that they've been replaced by Western Sydney Wanderers Academy in the NPL Women's competition, I suppose that doesn't matter anymore, as it's cleared possibly into some trees by Michael Paragali. Might do, now that that sub's been made, it might just double check, see if any kind of positional swaps have been made, but then I might just do a reminder of the lineups, the two sets of 11 players out there on the synthetic turf, as it's the goal scorer, Trasoglovic. And Wong, that's a fortunate one, loses his footing. Now Smith plays it long. Grozos with the foot in there, and then Mantell. Oh, Mantell, I think we've got caught in two minds as to whether to leave it or play at it. In the end, it just ended up giving the ball, fortunate one, giving the ball straight back to Sutherland. Now Grozos can turn to disguise the pass. Here's Fernandez, and still has it. Now almost played it through, almost dinked it through to Wong. It's an awkward one, and the defender on the floor, but Smith has gotten in the way long enough. The Mariners stand firm. By the way, just go through the new Sutherland lineup, now that they've made that halftime sub. In goal for them is number 1, Daniel Nizic, getting the ball now. So I see 4 at the back. The Sharks are from left to right. Number 20, Jacob Trasoglovic. Number 6, Mohammed Ahmed. Number 26, Jacob Garner. And number 2, Lachlan McDonald. Now, having said that, at least in this phase of play, it looks like they've swapped the centre back. So now Garner's left stopper and Ahmed's right stopper. But anyway, 4 in the Sutherland midfield, 3 of them. Number 21, Jerry Skatadis. Number 15, Matthew Modic. And the most advanced of the midfield trio appears to be number 7, Peter Grozos. And Porter trying to break up the Sutherland move. Unsuccessful. Now it's Grozos again. And by the way, the 3 in attack for Sutherland. Number 58, Daniel Wong. Number 17, Richard Shueki. And number 23, Mason Fernandez. But it's Mariners attacking with gyros. Overlapping run, which he uses as a decoy to cut inside. Sutherland getting back in time. Mariners will start again with the centre backs. Here's Smith. Now Pecora. Now he's back to the defenders again, and all the way to Warshawski, the keeper. So Sutherland pushing up. Now Smith almost lost out to Shueki there. Uses the keeper again. Great header from McDonald. That header goes almost as far as his throw-ins. In fact, it's good to see the lights have been turned on. Just give everyone here that little bit of assistance. So that it will be not the brightest, so to speak, especially on an overcast day in the dying stages of this game. Schumacher with the indiscretion there against Modic. So the 11 out there for the Mariners, so at least as I see things, they also appear to be in roughly a 4-3-3 shape. But in goal for the visitors, number 30, Jack Warshawski. 4 at the back, so from left to right, number 5, Ben Mewett. Number 3, Michael Paragali. Number 4, Rocco Smith. And number 2, Luca Pecora. And 3 in midfield. The captain is number 8, Lucas Shakluna. There's also number 24, Kai Schumacher. And I think kind of almost something between a midfield and a forward, because he does get forward at every opportunity, and he's also committed a foul. But anyway, it's number 7, Ayek Mo, and the 3 in attack. Number 21, Muginga Importa, flanked by number 11, Gyros. And number 17, Jesse Mantell. Sorry, I had to hesitate a bit. I just realized I wrote my notes in the wrong place and I confused myself. There we go. And Jesse Mantell, by the way, if you missed that, early substitute for the unfortunate Bailey Brantman, who took a knock and had to be withdrawn. Now Wong with the pass to Morich. This is the furthest forward he's been all game, and he's won a corner kick. I think that's Sutherland's 6th of the game so far, with the Mariners yet to win a single kick from by the flag. Just to quickly do a reminder of the subs as well, at least for Sutherland. So Sebastian Aranz is the backup goalkeeper. Steve Zordich could also choose to bring on Jordan Roberts, Takahide Umabachi, Nicholas Sullivan, or Dylan Susovic later in the game. First, the delivery coming up from Skatadis. To the near post, good header away from Mo. They let it run. So the players left on the Mariners bench. Of course, both teams have used one sub so far. But yeah, for the Mariners, the backup keeper is Joel Wade. Lucas Villela, he could also opt to bring on Freddie Clunas, Shumba Motokoi, Lawrence Taylor, or Xavier Dalpra. Grozos trying his best to get away from Pecora, sticks to the task. The second defender comes in, and the 2-on-1 wins the day, but then Wong blocks the clearance. This could be a chance here, and the curler on the turn, tried by Shawaki, and goes wide. So, of course, if you are the multi-screening type, there would be, or pretty much by about now, or at least in a couple of minutes, you can just watch this game. You could also take your pick of all seven NPL Women's New South Wales games to be played this round. It's round 3 in the women's, but anyway, Skatadis is on the move, and might have been outnumbered there, and wants a free kick, which he is not going to get. But that decision will go Sutherland's way. And by the way, we do have a full-time update from the game, that the other NPL men's game to be played today. So Marconi Stallions have won 2-1 at Adensa Park. Good for them. But yes, be a bit more detailed, but yes, if you do want to watch a couple of Football New South Wales streams at the same time, you got 6 NPL women's games that kicked off at 5 p.m. and one that is scheduled for 5:10 p.m. So plenty of choice. Grozos, this is a long-range free kick. He does go direct. It's dipping, but sticky gloves for Jack Wachowski. And actually, there's also a football, interesting stuff happening in my DMs, because there's the Football New South Wales League 1 women's match of the round, the feature game from the women's second tier. That competition's up to round 4. We might have a surprise commentary appearance from Justin Davies, longtime Football New South Wales reporter. I think he's at the shortest notice possible. He's going to be calling the League 1 women's game between Bankstown City and Nepean. I hope that's what happens. I think the opportunity has come up for Justin at very short notice. Yep, he's confirmed. He's doing the commentary. Anyway, back to this game with Schumacher. Smith moving it back to Wachowski. Towards halfway, Mo is eased out of it, but then Mo has won it back cleanly off Fernandez. Anyway, if you want to hear Justin Davies, he's actually doing commentary now. So open up a second tab in your browser. Mole winning the free kick there. But yes, there are other games available for you right now. Actually, as Mariners try to play out from the back, Smith wants the movement, and he's dribbling into his own 6-yard box before he gets rid of it. Stooping header from McDonald. That's Garner. Decent first touch, and the second touch, well, it was dipping, so pretty close in the end. Wachowski seemed to have it covered. That was Fernandez. A brilliant first touch. And the dipping strike. And at least it had Wachowski in an alert state. But now, in fact, decides it's going to be more traditional goal kick. And by the way, in today's NPL Women's New South Wales action, well, the Mariners, I'm sure you'll be able to see, they got sponsorship from Borg on their jerseys, and it's going to be Ashley Borg with commentary from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility for the game between Newcastle Jets and Bulls FC Academy. And the Maltese Mafia theme continues in our commentary theme because Mel Muscat is at Lambert Park to call RPL Leichhardt versus the University of New South Wales. Other 5 p.m. women's kickoffs, Nicola Posner is at Football New South Wales headquarters to call Sydney University versus Northwest Sydney Spirit. Up in the Northern Beaches, it's Manly United versus Mount Druitt Town Rangers, newly promoted Mount Druitt, by the way. So we congratulate them for reaching the women's top tier for the first time. There's also Sydney Olympic versus Northern Tigers, and Illawarra Stingrays hosting Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Then the very odd 5:10 p.m. kickoff for Gladesville Ravens home games. Gladesville Ravens are facing MacArthur Rams. Annabelle Banfield will be on the mic from the Arctic Circle. Now, well done from Lucas Shakluna, although Jesse Mantell tried to steal about 10 yards with that throw, and Matt Staples is all across that one. Now Mantell under pressure, plays it back to Smith. And then Mantell is fouled by Mordich. Rose eased away from it, and Sutherland, they've been really started the season defending very well with 2 clean sheets in their first 3 games, but then after conceding 11 goals in the next 3 games, this is more like it as far as Steve Zorich and the coaching staff at the Sharks are concerned. I can't really think of a time when the Mariners have really stretched Daniel Nizic in any way. That's credit to those in sky blue in front of him. And now Sutherland take it the other way with Wong. He'll get into the middle, tracked closely by Pecora. Now to the byline, he drills it in, but Smith, nice positioning, and he booms it well into Sutherland territory. In fact, that's going to go out for a throw in deep in Sutherland territory. Very booming clearance. Forward from Pecora. Wong and Trosoglovic down the line. Knee touch off the chest from Smith, and now Pecora once again helping it forward, but the Mariners lose out. Grozos, he was fouled by Smith. Sutherland restarts, and of course I can't believe it, it's already end of men's round 7, so the next set of fixtures. By the way, thank you to all the Sutherland and all the Mariners fans tuning in, as these two teams are playing in the earliest two games of next weekend, as Morich has room to run before finding Fernandez. This is McDonald. And McDonald's cross blocked by Mewert. Mewert does keep it in, and then, what's the call? Goal kick. But yes, next weekend, these two will be in the earliest two games next weekend, so the action for NPL Men's Round 8 starts Saturday the 29th of March at 5 p.m. with Sydney Olympic hosting Central Coast Mariners. I believe that's at Belmore Sports Ground. Then at 5:30 p.m. from the Arctic Circle, it's the league leaders by 5 points, I believe. At least they were when I checked the league table, actually. Better check that. No. Up by 4 points. A 4-point lead now for Spirit because Marconi just wanted a denser park. But anyway, what a great job the men from the Arctic Circle have done. And they are hosting Sutherland Sharks 5:30 p.m. on Saturday the 29th. William Constantinidis will be on the call there. What great young commentator, William Constantinidis. Already in his 6th season. Oh, goodness. They grow up so fast. This is William Constantinidis' 6th season doing commentary for us. That was a shock to figure out just then. But anyway, he'll be at the Arctic Circle for Spirit versus Sutherland 6 days from now. Then on Saturday 29th at 7 p.m. From the Palace. Marconi used to be the Wanderers' home away from home. It's Marconi hosting Wanderers Academy. 7 p.m. on the 29th with Dominic Crenidi on the call there. So that's nice of Mark Stavroulakis, Football New South Wales media manager, to give Dominic a non-Odense Park game. Anyway, Madeline Riley will be doing the report for Marconi versus the Wanderers. And then 7:15 p.m. on Saturday 29th, it's a St George derby with St George City hosting St George FC. That's at Penshurst Park, and you've got Teo Pellizzeri calling that one. You've got Brett Nielsen doing photography, travelling up from the south coast for that one. Brett will do that. Jude Dolan, that's a match around. Jude Dolan will be doing the socials, and Dimitri Carlos on the match report. And Dimitri, enterprising young man. He introduced himself to me just before I was calling Olympic versus Wollongong. Just had a couple of questions, which I was more than happy to answer. And wow, it was it's nice to have a writer introduce themselves to me before I do commentary. Doesn't always happen. Anyway, Mariners about to make their second sub of the game, so it's an early withdrawal. Kyle Schumacher didn't quite reach the checkered flag, but he's been withdrawn in the 62nd minute to be replaced by number 23, Lawrence Taylor. So when I called Mariners versus Apia back in round 2, Lawrence Taylor made a giant contribution off the bench, and he scored a goal from a long way out. A very nice goal as well. But now Lawrence Taylor, who appears to be a straight shot for Schumacher in central midfield. Another one for that, and that would be very, very handy for Lucas Villela's side. Now by Cora. He's got some room. He'll take it to the byline, and the cross is out for a goal kick. So, just looking at this, Sutherland made a sub at halftime, so they got all 3 windows left. However, the Mariners, with their 2 subs, have already used 2 windows, so if they're going to empty the bench, it would need to be a triple sub. But it's a decision for Lucas Villela, not for me, thankfully. And just some attention required for Jacob Garner. He's been very good in the Sutherland central defence, but he's going to need some running repairs. Now Sutherland down to 10 for the time being. So who drops into central defence? Although I suspect Garner will be off the field for about 10 seconds of actual play before coming back on. Anyway, Jerry Skatadis has slotted in alongside Muhammad Ahmed for now. And we will restart with this goal kick. Also, as Grozos gets its head to it, and now Trosoglovic. He's going to run down the line, chased by Rose. Now is Wong. Grozos. Garner, there he is back on the field. Yeah, but he definitely wasn't off the field for too long. And Sutherland had the ball the entire time he was off the field, so that situation managed excellently by Steve Zorich's team. By the way, shout out to Megan, who's decided on multi-screening, has decided on a very Macedonian theme. She's watching this game at Illinois Sports Centre, and she's also watching the women's game at Macedonia Park. And now Porta's held onto it long enough, wins a free kick off Grozos, and long-range opportunity from the set piece coming up for the Mariners. Taylor is heading towards the spot of the foul. Lucas Shakluna. Well, he's got the captain's armband. He also appears to be issuing the directions. And then they've left it to Pecora, actually. Nizic has asked for 3 in the wall. Does look like this is going to be a long-distance try. It's a very long way out for Pecora. Will he do something a bit different? No, he does go direct, and it's well over the crossbar. Well, So, thanks to that kind young person playing ball kid, although interesting time for Daniel Nizic to fumble the ball. Was that a little bit of dark arts, a little bit of time wasting? Well, not for me to say. The Mariners playing out from the back, but Wong has caught them out, and Wong wanting options to play to the ball, and it's slapped away by Wachowski. Good reflexes there as the support was coming in behind him. He made sure that didn't end up with any of those Sutherland runners. McDonald, another run down the flank. He's ahead of the ball, providing an option. He'll get it. Now McDonald crosses. Headed away by Pecora. It's a good tackle from Lawrence Taylor. If you know your NFL history, a good tackle from Lawrence Taylor, not at all a surprising sentence to hear. Now, so we are midway through the second half. Jacob Trosoglovic's goal in the 41st minute is what splits these two teams. Sutherland leading by 0-0 over the Mariners. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales Round 7. And with the ball in this part of the field, that'll suit Sutherland just nicely. It's definitely not kitchen sink time just yet, as that's going to be a foul committed against Garner. High foot on Ayuk Mo. Nothing intended there. Ayuk Mo just trying to control the ball. No ill intent there, but definitely a free kick. As I Do a little bit cheeky scroll of the Football New South Wales YouTube page to try and jag any progress updates from the women's competition. Ah, yes, I've been reminded of the filming angle at Peter Moorfield. It's better that call than me, that's for sure. By the way, 0-0 between Sydney Olympic and Northern Tigers in the women's comp, by the way. And now Nizic to Ahmed. Solgovic playing it back to Nizic, and the Mariners continue to stand off, but surely they can't afford to do that much longer, otherwise Sutherland will just they'll be happy to run down the clock down with no pressure. That's a rare misstep from Nizic. Distribution's been good today, apart from what we saw just there. By the way, the women's comp also 0-0 between Manly and Mount Druitt, but there's been a goal in the Arctic Circle. MacArthur Rams leading Gladesville Ravens by a goal to 0. Oh, so good to have the games on YouTube. It's easy. Very, very easy to look for updates. Of course, with the caveat that you hope that the person doing the data updates actually knows what they're doing. Anyway, it's also looks like the Young Wanderers on their travels. They've been stung by their opponents because Illawarra are leading by a goal to 0 at Macedonia Park and 0-0 at Lambert Park. By the way, home of Sydney's best barista, Lambert Park, and 0-0 between RPL Leichhardt and University of New South Wales. And the visitors are on a charge at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Bulls are leading the Jets Academy by a goal to 0. McDonald forward once again, and he crosses from deep. Wong could get to the end of this, tries to find a teammate, and the header's over. It was unselfish from Wong. He might have gone for goal himself, but saw the teammate in the better option. I think it was Shueki in the end who claps the play of his teammates, who combined very well to create that opportunity for him. And Shueki's header, to be fair, quite an awkward position to try and score from. Might have been slightly behind him, that header from Wong. As good as the vision was from the number 58, but the header is off target. Now, Mole wins a free kick. It's deep in Mariners territory, but so Lucas Villela would want him running at defenders in the final third as much as possible over the remainder of this game, not trying to run away from defenders inside his own half. Easier said than done against a Sutherland side that has been very well organised in what the opening 72 minutes of this game. Warshawski goes long. It's going to be too long, I think, for all his teammates, and yet McDonald, very calm-headed back pass. Oh yes, also goal at Valentine Sports Park. Spirit leading Sydney Uni by a goal to 0 in the women's comp. Shueki trying to be the target forward, holding it up, and almost worked out for McDonald's run. Good header from Garner. So be a good company man. Keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales socials for match reports. But here's Mantell, and Mantell, has he found a teammate? No, that's Garner again in the way, because Rose was running into space, and indeed would have had a run inside the box if not for that Garner challenge. Here's Pecora. Taylor is stopped. And then Shueki not getting the decision he wanted, so here's Shikluna. Now Mo, Mewett running in beyond. And then the ball overhit. That's a bit of a shame for those of Mariners' persuasion. Sutherland sub coming up. And Peter Grozos is the player who will make way. And Dylan Susovic coming on. And what is this? The 75th minute. Peter Grozos, one of the Sharks players on a card as well, so that might have been a factor in Steve Azoric's decision to withdraw the number 7 with about 15 minutes remaining. Now, a rare off-target pass from Skatardis. Mariners with a throw-in right in front of the clubhouse here at Illington Sports Centre. It's always it's afternoon games, but it's always amusing when you call a Saturday night game here and there's something going on in the clubhouse across from us. Sometimes you can hear music going on from there while the game's going on right in front of us. Although, to be fair, today I'm glad for the earlier kickoff because there is, behind our filming position, there is a swamp and therefore mosquitoes. And yes, in case you're wondering, yes, I did learn that the hard way. One from Paragali, and now Rose finds Mo, and Mo, did he get the touch past Garner? Well, Matt Staples wasn't impressed by that. It's going to be a yellow card to the number 26. Jacob Garner. Jacob Garner infringing enough to be shown a card by Matt Staples. 77th minute for that card, Jacob Garner card. So set piece coming up. In swinger and too close to Nizic. Safe hands. Drops it at his feet. And it goes long, so Wong, knee touch. Back to Trusoglovic. Anyway, on a Mariners theme, as I very irresponsibly look at my socials, I'm supposed to be paying attention to this one. Hold that thought as it's a run from Skatardis and Rocco Smith. Great shepherding. Excellent example of the centre-back arch there, although you might see he's fallen. No, he's okay. Good to see that he's okay. But yes, on the Mariners theme, former Mariners Academy player Mate Bushek, he's scored a social media worthy goal for Marconi at Adensa Park, so that's well done to the Greek god of football New South Wales, Mark Stavroulakis. He's clipped that up and that's already on the socials. Pukora goes back a little bit awkward for Wachowski, but he's able to get the distance. And then Mo. So to be good defending from McDonald, who's had a good game. He actually had a good game, both in attack and defence. Really much has gone on down his side. He's actually made some decent runs. And of course, he has long throws in his locker, a skill that I absolutely love. But there, the pressure from Mo has forced Nizic to kick it into touch, and a Sutherland substitution is coming up. So their third sub, but they made a sub at halftime, so this is only the second sub window that they've used. And it's going to be Richard Shueki making way for number 8, Nicholas Sullivan, in the 79th minute.
Richard Shawiki coming off the pitch, number 8, Nick Sullivan.
Shueki, the tape's already off, and he's With Sutherland leading 1-0 in the late stages, he's moving off as slowly as he can get away with. But high five from the coach, Steve Zorich. Good to see. He's centre forward, especially in a system where your fellow forwards are out wide. It can be a tough role at times. He hasn't had, but there was that header set up by Daniel Wong. He's worked hard. It didn't quite fall for Shueiki today in terms of the clear-cut chances, but he will have better days, I'm sure, because I did like what I saw from him today. Now, space for Pecora, a bit more centrally than we're used to seeing him play. Out wide here is Mantell. Mantell, as the second defender comes in, but the foul is going to be called against Daniel Wong. This is a good chance for the Mariners. And once again, it's the dead ball responsibility as well. Actually, this time it appears that Lucas Scicluna is going to be the Maltese maestro. Can he orchestrate an equalizer for the visitors? Two in the wall for Nizic. Right footer, you'd think there wouldn't be a direct shot. And indeed clipped into the middle, but Wong, the good header, he got there first. That's the most important thing. Sutherland do clear. Back with the Mariners. Here's Taylor, and Taylor tries to switch it. It's a big chase. Good touch from Scicluna, though. That first touch was as delicious as a pastizzi. And what can the Mariners do from here? Mantell. He gets it back. He'll cross it. And a back heel semi-clearance. Pecora shoots from range. Straight at Nizic. I mean, it wasn't really flashy. I'm not sure who it was with the back heel, but that's pretty much with their body position and the way the ball came to them. It's really all they could have done. And it did enough to slow the Mariners' attack down. You do not see back heel clearances too often. But I am told, thank you Megan, that one of the Stingrays' goals in that women's game at Macedonia Park has come from Siobhan Edwards, twin sister Brianna Edwards from Sydney FC, and also more recently added addition to the New Zealand Maori women's squad. So well done to you, Siobhan, for that selection. Now, did speculate that it will be a triple substitution. So Lucas Villela had one sub window left, and he's decided to bring on 3 players. So coming on, I'm sorry, Tim. Sorry, Tim Gibson, trying to figure this out remotely, but I can't tell you it's the 82nd minute. But number 15, coming on for the Mariners, number 15, Freddie Clunas, number 22, Shumba Mutokoi, and number 29, Xavier Dalpra. Who's come off? Well, that was a fair bit happening at one time. And number 11, Gyros, one of the players withdrawn. I think as Sullivan putting Smith under heavy pressure, but the Mariners will go on with Mantell. Now, as they work at left, it's McDonald taking over. I think, actually, I'm trying to figure out those other 2 Mariners players withdrawn by process of elimination. I think, don't take my word as gospel, Tim, I think that the 3 players withdrawn in that Mariners triple sub. Number 11, Gyros, number 7, Ayuk Mo, and number 21, Muginga Mporta. Appears that Lucas Villela now he's gone to his kitchen sink formation, as I would call it. Luca Pecora now very, very high up the field on the right side of their formation. Strong header by McDonald. Now here's Wong. And Wong, you'll shoot. Saved by Wachowski. Maybe the Mariners have gone to the back 3 in the late stages as they chase a result here. Another good header from Garner. Fernandez. Switch Wong again, the target. It's a good header from Smith. Sutherland hustling, trying to keep this alive. May break for the Mariners. Here's Scicluna. He involves Mantell in the play. Now, Mantell eases past Skatardis. There's a wall of sky blue in front of him. He does find the open player, though. And it's clipped into the middle. Now, might break for Pecora. It's a bit awkward. Can he get the shot away? Pecora, he wins a corner. Now, my corner count's incredibly unofficial. Is this the Mariners' first corner of the game? Might be. I don't remember them taking another kick from by the flag. Good scrambling from Sutherland to get bodies in the way. Short corner. Mariners know there isn't a second to waste. Pecora. Now Mantell. Delivered by Shakluna. Good cross and the header. Oh, Rocco Smith escaped his opponents, but the header goes wide. So, I mean, not that I should ever really be talking about tactics. I mean, my goodness, I can barely count to 11, but it does look like number 29 for the Mariners, Xavier Dalpra, he's replaced Muginga and Porto is the furthest player up front, although it does look like this late stage Lucas Shakluna will get forward from midfield at every opportunity to support Dalpra. Shumba Mutakoi appears to have dropped into defence, and Freddie Clunas is in midfield. Mantell found some synthetic turf in front of him. Decent ball to Dalpra, and Dalpra, well, he beat the first defender, but not the second. That's great covering from the goal scorer, the man who will be the hero of Sutherland. Hold on here, Jacob Trasoglovic. It's a lesson to all the kids watching out there, as that is going to be a yellow card up against Luca Pecora. That's a pretty clear decision as well. And yellow card coming up as soon as Matt Staples officially shows it in the 87th minute. But yeah, that's been a pretty. It's been a good tempered game. I mean, it's been a few cards for either side, but nothing. Nowhere near the most ill-tempered encounter I've seen. It's a credit to both Sutherland and the Mariners. Yellow card officially shown to Luca Pecora for stopping that attack in an illegal manner. I'm told the Stingrays have scored again down at Macedonia Park. No, wait, I'll give her full title. Futsal Matilda superstar Alexia Karastal is now wearing Stingrays pink for this NPL season. She's scored down there. So you'd have to say that the Illawarra would be tickle pink by the way they've started that game. As Skatardis broke it up, he's won the free kick. That's excellent from Skatardis. Sutherland, well, potential scoring opportunity, but then Skatardis decides a safer option with possession, and that's actually smart because they can run a few more seconds down. Every Mariners player is behind the ball for the set piece. Now they've got to chase and step up. Garner towards the far sideline. McDonald, he's drawn a handball call out of Mutakoi. It's more nice work from Lachlan McDonald. Once again, dead ball goes short, and then McDonald, feel like it's that time. It's Sutherland appear to be in full game management mode. Going to make those in yellow and navy chase it. Steve George will hope they'll be chasing until the final whistle is done. Garner shrugs off a challenge from Shakluna. Joel Denijczyk, the fourth official, is preparing the board. It would be an absolute miracle if I remember to look at the board for time added on twice in the same game. Might actually be a commentary first for me. Actually, I can see he's prepared it, so the signals come. When he does signal, it looks like there'll be a minimum of 4 minutes time added on. Not the most we've seen. Chatting to referee Matt Staples before the game, he's actually he's got commitments after this game, so he will want to make make his leave at the Ellenden Sports Centre as quickly as possible. As will I. She wouldn't mind catching the late stages of that women's game between RP and NSW at Lambert Park. It's not too far away from here. I'm going to say hi to Mel Muscat, the commentator, as well. This is not where the Mariners need the ball, and pressure works out for Sutherland. Here's Wong. And Wong up against two players. He's done well to hold on to it. This is all that Sutherland need now. Final minute of regulation time. Oh, this is textbook possession play from Steve Zorich's side. He'll be pleased with the way they've managed this. Mariners still chasing. There, Joel Tunajcik. It's official now. A minimum of 4 minutes time added on. Header from Paragali. Funes has his foot in there. Now, Mariners, they finally have it, but it's at the opposite end to where they need the ball. Work left. Cluno wanted the ball early. They opt against it. Here's Rocco Smith. Smith. One for Pecora to chase. Trosoglovic will get there first and plays it over the sideline. One last reminder of the games you can switch over to after this one is done, or if you're multi-screening, concentrate on after this one's done. So 7 women's games on concurrently. So you got RPL Leichhardt versus University of New South Wales, called by Melissa Muscat. Newcastle Jets versus Bulls FC Academy, called by Ashley Borg. You've got Sydney University versus Northwest Sydney Spirit, called by Nicola Posder. Gladwell Ravens versus Macarthur Rams, called by Annabelle Banfield. The others, Manly versus Mount Druitt, Sydney Olympic versus Northern Tigers, and Illawarra Stingrays versus Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Sport, that's a goal kick. That's perfect for Sutherland, and what they require from the remaining minutes of this context. So, yes, plenty of choice for you women's football fans. And also the League One Women's Match of the Round, that's also being played at the same time. And featuring Justin Davies on commentary with the very, very late call-up for Bankstown City versus the PNFC. And on that note, as a shameless... Next weekend's feature match from the women's second tier, the League One Women's Match of the Round at Valentine Sports Park, 5:30 p.m. Sunday, 30th of March, between Hills United and SD Raiders. I love League One Women's. Some people say it's the greatest league in the world. Good to call my first League One Women's game for 2025. And yes, for those of you watching, yes. And for those of you wondering, yes, I do still love the Hills United women's team, even if Sarah Easthope isn't starting in goal for them anymore. Just to clarify that one. I wonder if our mics picked that up. Matt Staples wants to keep it moving. I think I heard the words, "Don't make me give a yellow." Trosoglovic hurling that back into play. At 2.5 minutes of time added on, roughly. Pretty much last chance saloon for the Mariners, but it's not going to happen with passes like that. How much ambition does Wong have? Open player is Sullivan. Tight angle possibly, but also offside. That's why he was in so much space. Time to be a company man and plug other people. Keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales socials, the NPL New South Wales Facebook and Instagram pages. Well, on Facebook, you'll see the match report for this game and all the other NPL Men's New South Wales men's games. Tim Gibson doing another excellent job remotely to write up this one. Also, there's the NPL Men's and the NPL Women's New South Wales Teams of the Week. That's released on Monday, featuring 3-2-1 votes from the media. Oh, no, sorry, not featured. Comprised of the 3-2-1 votes from the media for both the women's and men's comps. So, plenty to look forward to as always. We're well into the swing of things for both NPL Women's, NPL Men's, and all the lower tier competitions. League One Men's, League One Women's. Steve Zorich trying to just be a little bit sneaky and break up the flow a bit with a late substitution. Jordan Roberts is going to have a very brief run on the field. If he gets on, that's going to be a goal kick. So this is the chance. And the final sub window is going to be utilised in this. Well, actually, it won't be. And that's perfect for Jordan Roberts. He doesn't get to go on the field at all, but it doesn't matter because his Sutherland Sharks have won by 1-0 here at Illingdon's Sports Centre against Central Coast Mariners. The decisive moment in the 41st minute, Jacob Trzogovic rising highest from a Jerry Skatardis corner to head home and earn Sutherland's 3 valuable points, breaking a 3-game losing streak for them. I hope you stick around. As I said a couple of minutes ago, 7 women's games. Oh, actually, 8 women's games on the Football New South Wales YouTube page for you to choose from. There's also, if you got the right subscriptions, there's the Chinese Formula 1 Grand Prix, which is about to start. So perhaps you would tune in for that as well if you're a Formula 1 fan, just like myself. But for now, on behalf of our friend Paul from Sportscast, has done a fine job with the camera. This is Eric Subihano signing off from Rockdale. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales. And we hope watching our collection of Razzlers gave you plenty of good vibes. If you feel sad, get a coffee. If you feel really sad, get a tattoo. And by the way, rest in peace to Eddie Jordan and George Foreman, who passed away in the last couple of days. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.